Osaze, if you can think back to where you were last year, you weren't even really playing a ton for Defiance, but it seems like last offseason, something clicked, something changed, and you've been just sort of on fire now since really that 4 goals you scored for Guyana.
Yeah, I mean, to look back a year from now where I was and to where I am now playing in the league's final and helping my team go to a league's final is just a big accomplishment, and I'm just very proud.
How big, though, was for your confidence to have that performance for Guyana sort of right after the end of the season?
Oh, it's a big deal. I want to finish off the season on a high note. Always want to do that, and for my national team as well. So I guess that gave me a nice push into the new year, to this year.
And then I guess I heard that in the offseason you and Tino Lopez did some kind of private training together. What was, can you tell us what that was and how that went?
Yeah, we were doing some training in Miami. Just getting the extras, just making sure we're ahead of the game. And Tino is a good companion of mine, good player to work with.
When you go back and look at that game, that you just had, how would you describe the way you rate it, the way you look at it, the things that you can do better in general?
The game that I had against LA Galaxy, I feel like it was a good game for me. Attacking in the sense of being in front of the net and getting the opportunities. I had a lot of opportunities, and I'm happy to get my goal. Felt like it was a build up, from the first half all the way to the second half, and just finishing the goal was just icing on the cake.
What's the mentality? Of course, now you're playing against Lionel Messi, you're playing against Inter Miami, it's a final. Does the approach is any different? The way you mentalize yourself to start this game?
Well, I mean, of course, going into a final, it takes a lot. It takes even more than building up, than just to play. I think the atmosphere itself is just, in itself, is just exciting. So we're ready.
Do you got to check your emotions in terms of playing a legendary guy like that, or everybody, Alba and Busquets and Messi?
Yeah, of course. I mean, dude, those guys are the greats. So I definitely do have to check my emotion because honestly, I watched these guys when I was a kid. Of course.
So just going back to the training that you did leading up to the season, how much of that was kind of like inside the goal box there, and then also different in terms of your goal to get back to the goal? Because both of those, you've mastered both of those skills.
Yes, of course, I'm still learning, still working, and still training to be better. But my back to goal and my strength and using my abilities in the right way is definitely the focus of my off-season training.
And then also in that, your vision in there, because if you go back to the goal, okay, it takes one thing to kind of do that's a finesse player, right? When you're able to be a defender, but it takes strength to be able to go through 2 of those. What did you see in those 2 sequences, tipping it up and then splitting the defenders?
Honestly, as soon as I got my first touch, I felt like that was my moment to express myself, and it really just was instinctual. It was very instinctual. It came to me, so I went with how I was feeling, and the result was a goal.
Does your dad give you any advice, or is it the point where he's just being a dad? Or?
Yeah, I mean, he gives me advice, but he's more worried about the chances I missed than the ones that I scored, because he's very critical. But it's good.
When it comes to you and Jesus Ferreira, it seemed like you guys were in some really good rapport. Like he could find you very easily. How has that relationship between you and him have grown, or why is it that you guys were in such sync in that particular game?
Well, Jesus is a great player. He's a guy that I look at and I learn from, and I think just me moving off of his movement, I think we have a great understanding because he's used to playing with a very direct striker, and I think the kind of profile I am fits his style.
You're both sons of players who were contemporaries as well. Is that a piece of conversation for you? Is that something where you guys can sort of relate to the way you guys came up together?
Yeah, of course. We actually have had conversations about just being the son of pros and great players, and that I think that builds the relationship even more.
Jesus, can you talk about the relationship one line further back? That is Alex. Christian Rodan, the way those line-breaking passes and how much are you having to make sure that you're timing those was because he had a nice one to space to you in the game.
Yeah, and these are things that I talk with my teammates. What do they need from me? Because I'm the new guy in the team, and I want to make sure they feel comfortable playing with me. So I always ask Christian and Alex and the captains of the team and Jesus and Rusnak, all these guys. Ask them what do they need from me, and they really want me to be very direct, and that just makes it easier for them to play.
In terms of direct, what's your favorite? Well, I'm not going to go into it, but in terms of you rather more in terms of right corner, left corner. Which is if you had the classic shot to win the Leagues Cup, which one would you take? Where would you take it?
How would I take it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I would take it as a bicycle kick. And I'll take it, honestly.
What do you expect from Inter Miami? Obviously, they're a great team offensively, but they do struggle. They do have some deficiencies defensively. What do you expect from this game, and maybe the room you might have to work with against them?
I expect a good quality team, of course, just the player personnel that they have, and I expect a great game, even for us. We're coming in there knowing that we can win and knowing that we are about championships. This club is built on championships, so we are going in there with high energy and expecting a great game.
This game is expected to have full out, entire stadium. Have you thought about maybe what that moment might look like for you? I mean, that's a huge stage, full, final, full stadium.
Yeah, I'm more worried about the football on the pitch, not really about the atmosphere. That's where my main focus is.
So
about.
just no pressure for you. You just feel like just focus on your game.
Yeah.
If you could just think back to, again, when you first were getting your pro career, you went through, you had COVID interrupt a lot of your early days, and then you had a literal war interrupt some of your next stop.
Yes.
How hard was it to get settled in, and I guess what was it like when you settled here with Defiance and you were able to sort of know that there was some stability and there was some regular, the world kind of was regular again in some ways?
Yeah, I mean, through the journey, all through that was just a learning process, as a player, mentally, staying in it, staying strong, believing in myself throughout the whole way, and coming into Defiance, understanding this club, what the club wants from me and what the club needs and what this club is about. It was just very humbling, and and I'm glad that they trusted me to walk through the rankings.
I know you're focused on what's happening on the field, but the stadium is going to be pretty full. The club set a record for Leagues Cup attendance with tickets sold already. How do you feed off of that energy with, any game, the home crowd behind you?
Yeah, especially with the home crowd behind me, I'm very excited. It gives all the players energy, of course, when you have the home team chanting your name and chanting your club side. And, it's a very big deal that we broke the record in Leagues Cup, so I think that's very amazing. I'm happy for this club, and I'm glad everybody wants to come out and watch this final.